Hey, good morning, everybody. We got a new topic today. We're going to start geometry. I've got a sheet here. It should be two sides. We are not going to do everything today, but a lot of geometry, it's all about shapes, right? Instead of shapes, sometimes we call them figures, but we got a lot of figures to cover. We're going to look at some of these today. We're going to look at some angles tomorrow, but that's what geometry is, guys. Shapes and figures, okay? All right, let's look at some terms we have down here. Let me see if I can squeeze them in. All right, what does this say? Point, a point. Hey, that's going to be a point. We'll talk about that in a second. Array, not Uncle Ray. There's a type of line called array, and I'm going to have to scroll up. I'll show you that later. We have a line and a line segment. So these are two different things, a line and a line segment. That's the important part, the segment. Intersection, perpendicular. We got a whole bunch of angles. I bet you've seen them before, right? Acute, obtuse, and straight. And then we've got some parallel lines over on the side. I got so many shapes and figures I can't squeeze them all into my camera here, okay? All right, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with this point. I think I got a couple points on here. Here's a big one. Here's another one. Now, these are points that don't have any lines attached to them. So a point is more or less just a location, right? Hey, I'll meet you at the corner of Park and Spruce. Well, that's a point, right? It's a specific location. A lot of times there's a letter. So this could be point A. This could be point B. If you draw a line, you'd actually have what we call a line segment. We'll get to that, okay? All right, so a point is just a dot or a specific location. Now, here's a point, here's a point. When you have an angle, the two lines usually meet at a point. So I can put a point in there. I can put a point in here. But just think of a point as a location, okay? A, B, might as well make a C, okay? All right, let's find array. Well, I think you already know part of this. There's a point, right? So array is a type of line that starts at a point and it goes on forever this way, okay? So I want to put the word ray in here so we remember it, okay? Is this array? No, it doesn't actually start at a point. This one goes both directions on and on, okay? All right, so the ray starts here at this point and it goes this way, like I said, forever. Best way to think about array, that's your bad picture of the day. Guess what that is? Isn't that the sun? So the sun starts at a point and the light goes away from it, on and on, okay? All right, so that's a ray there. Let's go back here. We did this. Let's find a line. Well, we actually had one right above it. So the line is straight, just like the ray is, but it goes forever this way and this way. And you could turn it. Could be vertical, could be horizontal, could be diagonal, could be going this way. The direction doesn't matter for any of these things, okay? It could be upside down, right? Okay. As long as it's straight and it's going two different directions and it's going on forever, you got yourself a line, okay? All right, so we got a ray, we got a line. Let's find something else. How about this guy over here? Well, is it a ray? No, it's got 2 points. Is it a line? No, because it doesn't have two arrows. This actually has 2 points. It starts and stops. So in other words, you could kind of stretch this on and make it go on forever, but the part of it that we want starts here and stops here. So that's why we call this a segment. So it's kind of like part of a line or like a mini line, but it's a line that has a definite start and a stopping point, okay? Here's another segment, and you can tell because point here and a point here, all right? We've got a line, we got a line segment. Now, sometimes you could have a line or a line segment or a ray. They could kind of crash into each other, cross over each other. So we call this an intersection. So if you look here, what's this thing going this direction? Yep, that's a ray. And what's going this way? That's a line, okay? Since they are crossing through each other, this part of it is called an intersection. So think of an intersection that you might drive through in your car. This road crosses into this road, okay? So the point where they meet is called the intersection, okay? And we'll get more into angles tomorrow, but now there's an angle that goes this way, there's an angle that goes this way, there's an angle that goes up here and down here, okay? So it can lead to some intersections. Here's just kind of a basic angle. This is called an acute angle. We'll talk about that one tomorrow, okay? All right, let's find another intersection. Oh, here's one. This is an intersection of what? What's this thing? That's a segment. This is another segment. So, another intersection. Sometimes you can have a special intersection. Notice anything here? This one? So here it's kind of like this angle's just going this way and this one's going this way. But these guys are a little different. If you look, I think this one is kind of close to what we call a right angle. So a right angle is anything that goes one direction and then it goes across the other direction. And this is what is known also as a 90-degree angle, okay? So is this a 90-degree angle? I don't think so. Definitely smaller than a 90-degree angle. Is this a 90-degree angle? No, it looks like it's a little bigger than a 90-degree angle, right? Do you think this is a 90-degree angle? I think that's exactly 90 degrees right there. So this is a special intersection that is perpendicular. So this perpendicular intersection is created because there's a 90-degree angle here. Now if I was able to turn this line a little bit this way, and now it's going across this way, it's not perpendicular anymore, is it? Okay? So this is still an intersection, but it's perpendicular. Is this one perpendicular? No, I don't think so. What about this one? No. There's still intersections. There's still two lines or rays or segments that are crossing, but they are not perpendicular. Okay? All right, let's do one more today. Like I said, we'll get to these angles tomorrow. We'll do more angle talk tomorrow. But here's a really good word to know in geometry. It's called parallel, okay? And you see parallel lines everywhere. So just look at my sticky note again. So we got a rectangle, right? So a lot of kids say, okay, well, a rectangle just means this side's equal to this side, and this side's equal to this side. Well, there's something else about it, though. Isn't this a line segment here? Starts here and it stops here. Starts here and it stops here. This line kind of goes this direction, right? Or you could say it goes this direction. This one goes the exact same direction. So these two sides are both the same distance apart. So if this is, say, maybe 3 inches apart here, you know it's going to be 3 inches apart here. So this line and this line are parallel. Good word to remember. Let's find some more parallel lines on here. What do you think down at the bottom? I have a feeling that if I measured, this would probably be about 1 centimeter away. It'll be 1 centimeter away. If I drew these lines out a long, long way, they'd still be 1 centimeter away. So they are the same distance apart. And here's the thing to remember. They will never intersect. Okay? They don't have to be the same length, because obviously this one's a little shorter than this one, but they both are the same distance apart at any point, so they'll never intersect, okay? So that's why they're parallel. Do you think, what do you think? Do you think these two are parallel? So I have a segment here and a segment here. Do you think they're parallel? I don't think so, because it looks like if you extended them, they would probably, what's that word again for when they cross? Yeah, they'd intersect, right? So I would say these are not parallel. And if you kind of draw them out this way, they're just getting further and further away from each other. So you can tell they do not remain the same distance apart. But think about a square. Think about a lot of different shapes out there. Let me just draw a quick square for you. Does a square have any parallel sides? Yeah, it actually has. This one runs this direction, and this one runs the same direction. They have to stay the same distance apart in order to be a square. This one goes this way. Oh, by the way, this is the little symbol for parallel. So these guys run up and down, and they'll never intersect either. And it doesn't matter how much you turn it, aren't they always going to stay that distance apart? Okay? All right, so that's parallel right there. Lines that will never intersect and remain the same distance apart. Okay, I am not going to have you guys draw anything, but I am going to try to put some questions on just so you know this. So if you want to watch this again just to make sure you're feeling good, stay with it, guys, okay? But make sure you know all these terms. Point, ray, line, line segment, intersection, perpendicular, and parallel in the back, okay? Angle talk tomorrow, work on those questions. First day of geometry. Catch you later.